You little fifth graders, in reading this week, we will be discussing structure of literature, or as the British would say, literature. First of all, let's talk about books. Books are usually divided into chapters. A chapter is a division or part of a book that is usually given a number or a title. The table of contents is a list of the parts of a book. Now you're going to have to be able to tell me what a chapter is and what the table of contents are on your test. Most stories are a mix of words from the storyteller and the exact thoughts and words of the characters. The person telling the story is the narrator. Very important for your test. You'll have to be able to tell me what a narrator is. The exact words the characters say are called dialogue. Dialogue is placed in quotation marks. So anytime you come across quotation marks in a story or a book, it is dialogue. It is what the characters are actually saying, and the person telling the story as you're reading it is called the narrator. The people in the story are called the characters. Characters can also be animals, talking trees, sea creatures, or anything else that has a personality. The person or figure that the story is mostly about is called the main character. So you got characters in the story, and then you got the main character. The main character is what the story is mostly about. Who the story is mostly about. And characters are just the rest of the people or animals or whatever that's in the story that is talking and has a personality. The setting. The setting is when and where the story takes place. Most stories have more than one setting. But notice the setting is when and where the story takes place. The plot is the problems the characters face and the way the problems are solved. In other words, this definition is probably going to be on your test, the main events of the story is the plot. The problem of the story is called the conflict. And the end of the story tells how the problem is solved. It is called the story's solution. So the problem is the conflict. How the problem is solved is the solution. And the plot is the main event of the story. Dramas, which are plays, you should know that. Dramas are divided into acts. An act is a part of a play. So just like books are divided into chapters, plays or dramas are divided into acts. So an act is a part of a play. Acts are also divided up into smaller parts called scenes. So a scene is part of an act. Stage directions are instructions that tell the actor where and how to move and how to speak their lines. Poetry. Poems are divided up into stanzas. A stanza is a group of lines or paragraphs of a poem. Last but not least, have a nice day.
I keep breathing this thing.